Kia ora te whānau, welcome back to Under the Whāriki. I'm Anatola.
I'm Tahu.
And you have just us two today, there's no guest.
Just
Yes.
the two of us.
We can make it if we try. So it's just us two. So just us two, and there'll probably be a lot of giggling, and that's okay. I feel like that's how we do it.
We communicate.
That's how we communicate.
Yeah.
A lot of giggles. But we are going to be having a little chat about mental health and self-care and just overall well-being. So yeah, it's just going to be us two.
Love it.
Love it. Love this for us.
To open, as always, we have our yeah, nah, nah, yeah.
Yeah, nah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
And the kaupapa
We can just judge each other now.
is...
Oh, magic!
Sorry, no, I've ripped it and there's hair
hurry up.
everywhere. Should butter be kept in the fridge?
Wow. Good question.
Should butter, my butter?
My hesitation on making a direct answer is because I don't actually have quote unquote butter anymore. I have olivani.
Oh, right.
And olivani.
Olivani.
Yeah, olivani, for those who don't know, is like
The
for...
devil's...
There's so much judgment.
Olivani, for those of you that don't know, is like the devil's blood. Oh, you wouldn't wish it upon your worst enemy, so...
For us vegans, I'm sorry I said the V word. I can't have the beautiful block of Anchor butter, the hard, just a...
Right.
Oh, I just can't.
So olivani has to be kept in the fridge?
Well, I mean, it's up to you. It's it can be kept in the fridge. It doesn't need to.
It's spreadable in the fridge, eh?
It's gonna survive either way.
Yeah.
But regarding if back in the day when I would have actual real butter with bakery bread. Oh my God, why is my mouth salivating right now? It's been so long. I'm suppressed.
Yeah.
Is definitely outside of the fridge. So, nah, yeah? Outside of the fridge?
Yeah, nah, yeah.
Nah, yeah. Outside of the fridge.
Outside the fridge.
Outside the
Only, keep in the fridge if you're not using that block of butter. And maybe, or just for cooking purposes.
Yeah.
But for spreading,
It's got to be soft.
it's got to be soft.
You know the worst is when it's
Nothing worse.
hard.
And you're fucking, oh my God.
And my
you might as well
toast
get a
is-
grater.
Oh. And the toast is separated, or the real, the big
Oh, there's
bread.
nothing worse than, oh my God, going into a sandwich and going to butter it and you split the bread. Now you have to put sauces in and now you're getting sauce on your fingers. Oh
Yeah.
my days.
And also the bread just tastes different.
Yeah.
Just tastes worse. It just does not do. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I'm with this.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway.
Yeah, mental health. What a segue. Seamless segue into mental health and self-care. What's some
Self-care.
things you do for self-care?
Oh my God, good question, Tahu. Let me take a sip of my Powerade.
There's one self-care. Sugar, yeah.
I think for me, what's helped so much is to replenish me after a hard week is I love to journal. I love writing.
Oh my, the way you, I honestly, the J word, I was gonna to replenish me. I love to jerk off.
I mean,
yeah.
no, but I love to journal. But I mean, hey, all the other things is great for you too. It's really good for your mental well-being. But if I was gonna choose one, I would say journaling's helped me a lot. Just because I'm just such a over everything. I'm overthinker, I'm an overfeeler. Everything is so intense. So for me to be able to put everything from my mind onto paper, to me to make sense of it, but also to give me a chance to digest it all. It
Kind of
just
earths it.
Yeah, and it makes it real. And it makes it something tangible. And it means that, do you know Harry Potter, right? You know when Dumbledore has I can't remember what it's called, but he puts his memories away into this.
Yes. Into that big jar.
Yeah,
Looks
yeah. And it means that he can go back and retrieve it if he needs to, but mostly it's away from his mind.
Yeah.
And I often think about that with journaling for me. I'm I just need to give myself a moment, a breather, give me a break. So I'd say journaling / jerking off is just the best thing in the world for me. Yeah, so journaling's helped. I love to read. Reading is the best thing in the world for me. Reading and writing is my sanctuary for sure. And just swimming in the moana.
Nice.
I found that's helped so much. Like swimming in the moana, taking my dog for a walk, him running around and me just jumping in. Like especially when it's really cold, like just wakes me up. And I think also what it does, especially I'm trying to experience joy when I'm not feeling so much of it. I think it really humbles me and it makes me feel like, oh, you're not the most important thing in the world. And what you're feeling right now is it's gonna have its turn, it's gonna have its moment, but like it will pass and it's okay to feel all the things right now. So I feel like the ocean just really grounds me and I feel really connected to who I am as a Pasifika woman when I'm in the ocean. So I'd say those things probably. And jerking off.
And jerking off, yeah.
What about you?
I think I'm really unintentional about it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't intentionally go out seeking self-care
Yeah.
or think actively about caring for myself more than anything. Probably because I find so much joy in all the stuff I do that it's not too. I don't think it's too deflating. The only thing that I really struggle with is being away from home for long periods of time.
Right.
So at the moment, I'm on a 3-week bender of work, pretty much.
Yeah.
Where, and this is what my life pretty much looks like. We stay at our house a month, like 1 week per month, pretty much.
Wow.
And that's
yeah.
yeah. It's like when I get back from working stints, it's like I think I take a self-care day in the form of shutting out the world. Like I really, really like not talking to people.
Yeah.
As I'm sitting here on this talk show.
As we're having this deep
Yeah.
conversation.
No, I really, really like not interacting with people for a day.
Yeah.
Like it's like one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
To just like lie at my house and just shut the world out.
Not speak.
Binge
Yeah.
Netflix. I don't want Che's opinion on anything. Like, like don't consult to me about what Rip's doing in Yellowstone. Like, I love him. Don't talk about him. We don't need to keep saying we love him. Like, I like that. And she's really good at that too. Like,
giving you space.
Yeah, we would just like take a day, and sometimes she'll just lie in the bed, or we'll just mosey around doing our own thing. I'll do a couple emails at the office, and then just like I stay in the lounge, she'll do something else. Or I just like mow my lawns. Oh, mow my lawns. That's probably a self-care
Do you
thing.
like that?
It's like one of my most prideful, favorite things in the world. Yeah.
Do you have a type of like way you do it, where you like you
my
judge other
grass
people?
grows on an angle because of the way I do it.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
because it shows the lines.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you judge other people's mowing?
So bad.
You're like,
Like,
shit.
Like I drive down my street and just like with the biggest grin every time, looking at all these shit lawns around my beautiful one.
Do you ever like show yours and be like,
I honestly do. I put it on my story like, look at that beautifully mowed lawn. Yeah, so I think that's one for me. I do that like once, twice a week.
wow.
Obviously the moana is a big one for me.
Yeah.
Fishing, diving. Last year it was really like actually pretty interesting because we worked for so long, and every single time had a break, it seemed like the weather just didn't want me to go. So I think I went like 6 months without going on the moana. And for people that know me, like during the summer, I pretty much live on my boat, like take it everywhere, go out every day I can. Like anytime the weather's permitting, I'll be out there. So like I went 6 months, and when I went back to, I went home and I went for a fish. And I think I went out by myself. I like just broke down.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like I needed to get back and like get
Center
my
yourself.
why. Yeah.
Yeah.
And why being a whakanoa thing in Māori, like as a thing to take away the tapu.
Yeah.
And for me, it's an actual proper stress reliever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like just sat there just crying out on the morning. Like, and it wasn't about anything.
No.
Like I just like started like crying for myself.
You just needed to cry.
Yeah.
You needed to cry.
Yeah. And I think because I really don't often cry for things, not because I can't emotionally display that I'm upset or something. It's just not the way that my way processes it.
Yeah.
Like I like to internalize things first before I outwardly
expressive.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I haven't gone to counselling for it, so.
That sounds about right. Though.
Yeah, it sounds right
Sounds
to
good
me.
to me.
It works for me. Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? If it works for you,
Yeah.
then I feel like people often think like they have to go and try all these different things that make sense to other people, so it must make sense for them, but they don't actually go on a journey of figuring out what works for them. And like sometimes it may be sitting and talking to someone else, or maybe it's sitting out in the moana and going fishing, or maybe it's, you know, sitting in your bed and journaling, like, or jerking off.
Yeah, actually.
Who knows? Like it's
masturbation is like such a beautiful
good
thing
for you.
when you're in a relationship.
Yep.
Because like you're only ever just having sex with your partner.
Yeah.
And like it's, you know, that's the best shit too.
Yeah. We love it.
Don't get me. Do not get me wrong. Hey Jay, thank you. Don't
Jay.
think I'm not grateful. But when you get to have like a moment for yourself and remember like how much you make yourself feel
good.
Yeah, feel good. It's really, really nice.
I feel like, you know what, for masturbation for me, I feel like as a Tongan woman, sex and sexuality is something that we just don't often talk about.
Yeah.
And there's so much shame, like deep shame. And like trying to find ways to like really excite yourself through pleasure is something so important for everyone.
Yeah.
But like, I think as someone who's grown up with so much conservatism, and like sex was only to do when you're married with a man to have babies. Like that was really what it was about. It wasn't about like to do this so that you can feel good or...
In the Bible way that it's been changed,
Absolutely,
that's
in the Bible way.
That it's changed. Because they would have had their own indigenous practices.
100%. My ancestors are getting it down. I love that for them. And I hope one day that can be the part, because it's like, I think we really villainize sex as in like this dirty yuck thing, but why is it that something that feels so good or brings us so much pleasure and joy could be something so tainted by the world, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like anything that makes you feel good, you should totally do.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I'm real clear. Sex is
it's beautiful.
My favorite.
Love it. We love it here.
Yeah, we love it. And it's just like the best possible activity.
Yeah.
And it's free.
Yeah.
Oh, well, for some.
Hey, yeah, right?
Yeah, for some. Yeah.
It's the oldest job in the world, though.
Yes, prostitution.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Sex work is the oldest job in the book.
The oldest profession ever. Yes.
Because as humans, that's what we like. That's what we want. Is and if you don't have an intimate partner like that, then where do you find it?
Yeah.
Someone else.
I actually think that's so funny. That's how economics work. They're like, all right, what's the first thing we need?
Sex.
Yes.
We got it covered.
If we cover this market off, then
and it's
everything else should just flow.
Exactly, it's a beautiful job, and obviously we want it for people who are of age who choose to do it.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful thing. I think sex is a beautiful thing, and I think it's so tied to our mental health and our mental well-being. And I think that's what we often forget about is like our mental health and our physical health and our emotional health and our spiritual health and our connections to our families and who we are. All of that is like so connected.
Yeah.
Like if one thing is falling short, then we're going to feel in all the other things.
Yeah. It's like sex, especially with a partner that you love. It's the feeling of being wanted that you yearn for. Like, because, you know, like not everyone tells you at work, like, I want you here to do this. You're so valuable to me. You know, like it's not like you'll reaffirm that all the time.
Yeah.
But sex with your partner is a confirmation.
A beautiful thing.
Of want.
Yeah.
Someone wants me. Yeah.
Desire.
Desire
is really important for people, eh?
Yeah. Well, I think particularly for men.
Yeah.
In particular, like that's something that men, I reckon, yearn for, and it's really
to be desired themselves.
Yeah, because they express it so often to everyone else. Well, they're just hoping it comes back.
Right.
And I think
you look good in them jeans.
Yeah, like honestly, you know how often I compliment like my little sister-in-laws, my little sisters, my mum, like, "Hi, mama, you look beautiful."
Yeah.
Like things like that. But I never go to my dad, fucking handsome dad.
Yeah, you look great. You look beautiful, dad.
But like every day I see my mum, I'll say, "Oh, you look beautiful today, mama." Like, or whatever, you know, sisters. "Oh, you look stunning."
Yeah.
But it's not often
That it gets reciprocated?
Yeah.
So tips for the ladies.
Yeah, maybe.
Like compliment the men in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love complimenting people. But what I do find sometimes is people often think it's flirting.
Yeah.
And I think we have to really move away. I mean, sometimes obviously there is flirtation if it's intentionally that way. But most of the time when we're having conversations, like I feel like when guys look good, I'm like, you look really nice. Like, you look beautiful. And it's like it becomes this whole ordeal when it really shouldn't be. Because I think we should all be able to compliment each other and like hype each other up.
Yeah.
Like be like, oi, where did you get these shoes from? Or whatever it is. Like that makes people feel good.
Even like the exchange you had with our videographer today. And it was just like about shoes and really, I like your shoes. And you're like, oh my God, you got the same ones. Yes, I love dog slides. And then you like, it's like that instant gratification of like, oh, that is cool. I think
we should do it more often.
Even Paulie. That's beautiful. And he's like, thanks.
Yeah, it makes you feel good.
It is. It is honestly, that's like the biggest thing I feel like from a men's perspective.
Is that?
That we want. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so.
Yeah,
tick. Okay. No, you know my favorite thing in the world is like going to like, if I'm at a bar or restaurant and I go into the bathroom. And I don't know if the same thing happens in the men's toilets, but my favorite thing is like meeting like people in the toilet and like being like, what lipstick is that? Girl, you look so good. Like it's like my favorite thing. Or being like, oh my God, there's no toilet paper. Or like there's no toilet paper in this one. Here, you want some toilet paper? And then coming out and be like, oh, let me fix your skirt for you. Oh my God, like, do you have a tampon? Do you have like, it's such a communal thing. And when you're standing in line, you're like, oh my God, like I saw you here. And it's just this beautiful connection. And I feel like hyping each other up. And what saddens me is when we don't do that with each other. Because I feel like being able to give joy or give love, even if you don't know the person, it makes people feel good and it means they're going to reciprocate to other people.
Right.
And I feel like anytime I go out, I feel so safe in a girl's toilet.
Right.
Like no matter what, I'm like in a girl's toilet, I'm like, I got girls there, we're hyping each other up. Right. It feels like a beautiful shared experience. Which may sound weird to people.
Go into the boys' toilet, there's piss on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, girls' toilets can be disgusting too, but like it's just the woman.
Right.
The woman.
All right, that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's like my favorite thing to do is like just go into the toilets and just be like, oh my God, you look amazing.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily you want it back. It's just like it feels good.
Yeah.
To compliment someone.
I think it's really nice to feel like you help them in their day. That's kind of like my whole goal in life is to help people anyway.
Yeah.
But like making someone feel good makes you feel like so good.
That's the best feeling.
Yeah.
They call it, or I don't think that this is actually the right context, but have you heard of compersion?
No.
So it's the opposite of jealousy.
Right.
So it means that when you see someone in particular that you love or you care for, if you that they're receiving love, you get joy from it. Like you experience like this deep, overwhelming sense of like excitement and joy and like pleasure from seeing them experience that. And I feel like when you're able to give joy to people, it makes you feel happy that they feel it or they receive it well. Because you're like, oh, that feels so good. I know how it feels, so it must feel good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Compersion.
That is a cool thing.
Yeah, compersion.
Like parents must feel that with their kids, Like when their kids are loved, they feel happy for their kids. And
I wonder if in polyamorous relationships, if they have higher. Do you know what polyamory is?
Yeah. Could you do that?
Pardon?
Could you do
Would
that?
I do polyamory?
Yeah.
I've been talking about this with my girlfriends a lot, and they're like, "Shut up, Tola, you can never do it." But I'm like, maybe I could. Maybe I could.
Never say never.
Never say never. I feel like honestly, this is my theory. Is like. I have so many girlfriends. I have so many friends. I have so much family. Yeah. I'm not going to go to only one of them for everything in my life. I go to them for so many different things. They guide me in so many different ways. They provide me so many different forms of joy. So for me, I'm like, how could I live just with one person for the rest of my life, expecting this relationship to provide me my all the rest of my life? That to me, it does feel. I mean, obviously, I feel like the glamour of like what we've been painted as children to be like, oh, you find your one true love and you get married and you do all the things that happens. But I feel like I often challenge that in my mind because I'm like, but like will that one person provide me what I need? And then I'm like, am I looking at it wrong? Because why would they need to provide me what I need? Well, I should be doing that myself. So polyamory is, I feel like, a very fascinating
I like it.
livelihood.
Yeah. I honestly had this huge, like, like epiphany as a teenager.
Yeah.
Where I was like, well, Pākehā made up marriages
Yeah.
for
It's a Western thing.
for royal whānau to get bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
It was just like a way of gaining land, gaining whatever, and gaining power. And I was like, the concept itself of only being attracted to one person and only, wanting to be wanted by one person, all that type of shit, it's not actually natural. Because we grow up in a communal setting where Dad taught me how to fish, Mum teaches me how to hug and how to cook, and my sisters teach me patience, my brother teaches me my brother teaches me how to give people hiding. So like you grow up taking from all these different energies and sources, that why would this one person be able to hold all of that energy that you're ready to put into them? But the way I've come to learn, well, because I tried polyamorous.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
What was the experience like?
It was like one-sided. It was me pushing that on my perspective on someone else.
Right.
Yeah, and me, like them just agreeing because that was the only way to try it with me.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
So that's where...
Mine just got goosebumps because that would be so hard.
Yeah, and I didn't realise that it was just for me.
Yeah.
But what I had come to learn why it would never have worked is because it was all just my idea.
Yeah.
There was no give and take. And it turned to like just sex was the goal of that. Like where I wasn't trying to make connections with other people.
It was just sex.
I just wanted all year round hall pass pretty much. To not have to deal with being, because I was working at the time and doing what I do, being in 3 different places, of being at home for 1 week and only having 1 week of seeing someone.
Right.
Yeah.
So then the travel time, you were like, well, I need to get it on somewhere else. I need some. Me jerking off is not enough.
Yeah, I know I love myself, okay? I don't need this.
I don't need this validation.
I've confirmed that with myself, yeah. So I think, knowing that now, how useless I was as a person, just as a communicator, didn't realise that I had pushed my agenda on them. What I've come to learn with being now engaged to someone is that I didn't look to her to fill any cup. Like I came as a whole person. I came as a whole person. And that's where I was in the wrong with all those. And I was just learning. Hey, kid, just learning.
You were young.
Still learning.
You're 24. Holy shit. You're still figuring it out.
Yeah, still learning. So I think coming into this relationship with a solid foundation of no history, no expectation, and just love being the core of it. It was really easy to kind of, I think, just accept the other person for who they were. And honestly, we're pretty much polar opposites in every way. Like she's religious, she's this, she's that, and she's never gone fishing before me. None of this, like pretty much every single way, we were different. I'm from the East Coast, she's from the West Coast. Like our whole worlds are different and perspectives are different. And because I wasn't looking for someone to reaffirm what I already know, I think that's where people get lost, is like they need somebody to tell them, yeah, you are right. Where I went for her because she was telling me I'm wrong. In all these places, and we found so much middle ground. I think
it works.
What works about it is that I get to learn from her too. We're not just both blowing shit up each other's ass. Like, you are cool. Yeah, we do love you. Like,
nah, you're an idiot.
Yeah, like, fuck off, bro. That's a dumb thing to say. Yeah. Yeah. So I think it was, not searching for empty parts of me.
Yeah.
In someone else.
Yeah.
It was just being happy with who I am
Mm.
and this person to walk with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing that people get caught up in is that like when you're in a relationship, they think that you have to walk the same path.
Right.
But you guys have to move together.
Yeah.
Because you're a unit now.
As a partner.
Yeah, you're a
Partnership.
partnership.
Yeah.
But you have to be moving together. Like if she's on this hurahi, then I'm on this hurahi.
Yeah.
Just as long as we're moving this way together.
Yeah.
Hey, not that there'll be times where you link in the middle of your roads,
Oh
but
my gosh, absolutely.
you can't be walking the same road.
Yeah.
Because it always ends up with shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're just individuals at the end of the day.
And that's what's most important. What I love most is how you said is like we're still our own people. I came whole and I'm not here to like get any validation from that person.
Yeah.
And I think like that's so important for people to realize how much that can also pull you down. It's like trying to live for validation of others and live, although we were talking about compliments, which is a beautiful thing, but to like live only for that is like, it's going to be so detrimental to you long term.
Yeah.
So like the beauty of your relationship to be so different and make it work. How like, you guys are soulmates. Do you believe in soulmates?
I honestly didn't until I met Che.
Oh my God, it's so beautiful.
Because even we were talking about our sexuality, and I was talking about it with Stevie one time, around what my sexuality was. And I always like claimed to be straight. Well, I just didn't know anything else. Didn't know any other words for it.
Yeah.
And we were on a show talking about this, and I said,
shout out to I.
Yeah, to be honest, if I met Che in a male's body, I'd be happy to be with him the rest of my life.
Wow.
Yeah, if it was her soul in a male body, then I'd have to be with them because I'm drawn to her.
To her either way.
In every way. And it's not like just her and her physical beautifulness that I love. Yeah. It's the actual soul. Yeah.
Her as a being.
Her wide way. Yeah. I need it. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love this.
And then they called me what? Asexual or demisexual or something?
Oh, not asexual. Asexual is when you...
no sex.
Yeah, no sex. Demisexual, yeah. Or pansexual, maybe.
Pansexual, that was
Pansexual means that you basically fall in love with someone's soul or someone's being rather than someone's gender.
That was it.
Yeah, pansexual.
Because I could totally be with
I think demisexual
the male
is someone's
version
intellect.
of Che.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
I love that though because it's like, I don't think a lot of men talk about this.
Yeah.
That like to experience love and attraction is so much more than just like a one-sided thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, if somebody was to blow me away more than Che, then I'd be open and honest with Che to say like, holy fuck, the water pulls me even more. I don't think I don't need any more than I've already got from her.
Yeah.
But like that's where I know I could be with a Tani. Yeah. Not in like I'm sexually attracted.
No.
But it's that I need to be with Wairua. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's big for you.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah. So
huge.
I feel like, of course, that would make sense.
Yeah.
That's what would pull you.
Yeah.
How beautiful. I love that for you, Tahu. Also, she's a 10. She's a 10. Jay, you're a 10. You're amazing, girl. No, but it's beautiful that you're around beautiful people physically, but most importantly, beautiful parts of people's souls, right?
Yeah.
And I think like going back on mental health and well-being, I think it really shows that you really have to surround yourself with people that like not only like support you and you replenishing yourself, but make you feel good to be around.
Yeah.
That like are people that you respect, that you admire. My mum used to always tell me that your friends and the people you choose to have in your life are a reflection of you. And I can sit here and say like the people in my life I'm so proud of, that like I know that when they go out and they say, oh, one of my best friends is Anatola, I'm so proud that's who I'm connected to. And I think like that's what's really important when we're building relationships and connections with people. You've been lucky enough to find a romantic relationship. It's finding people that make you feel good and who you can make feel good. And always, in every way.
Yeah.
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 That shit's elite.
It is.
It is elite.
It's honestly having a circle, and it's hard to like try and explain to someone who doesn't value people the same way.
Yeah.
Because my biggest like exchange in my life is time.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the true thing I get to value. I value as time with people and
Yeah.
time to myself or just time in general. And people who value just things that are materialistic or money or their careers, ka pai them. But it's hard to explain to them that the support systems that I have are literally my oranga, is literally what keeps me going. Yeah, there's nothing else to my world.
No.
I don't care about, my boat pops tomorrow, then I'll just go
It is what it is.
Yeah, that's one boat.
Yeah.
But if, somebody in that whānau, in my whānau, was to pass tomorrow.
That's different.
Then it's world ending for me.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that so hard. I remember I made a decision to move. I'm moving to Tonga next week. I move on Thursday. I know. Oh my gosh. So I made a decision. Yeah, next Thursday. Next Thursday. Not this Thursday. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to be here for Friday. No, I leave next Thursday. I know. So excited. And I remember I'm leaving my well-paying job and I said no to a really big opportunity that was going to pay me more money than I ever thought that I'd ever experienced. As a social worker, I was like, what? Social worker get paid this in New Zealand? What? I just thought I remember saying no to it instantly. There was no even side. And I remember feeling so afraid to tell my family that I was and I was trying to figure out a pitch. How am I going to sit down with my mom and my dad and my stepdad who are basically my dad and my stepdad are immigrants and my mom is, a hardworking Māori woman, but I was just so worried that they were going to judge me for it because they were like, why the fuck are you going to Tonga getting 14 ba'anga, which is $8 New Zealand dollars an hour, and in comparison to this, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to pitch this, and all I could come down to is it feels right for me, it's going to bring me joy, and explain it to people who do quantify their life by material, how many zeros are in their bank account. It's hard to really explain that, but I feel what I found is for Māori and Pasifika, when I tell them it's my connection to this land that feels like home, it's my home, even though I've only been there one time, and it's going to bring me joy, but also it's this, a service to my grandparents, I'm doing this because I love you. I can't give you anything to repay you in my life. I can never, what can I give my grandparents to thank them and repay them for the love and the sacrifices they gave for me to be where I'm at right now? I could do nothing, but one thing I can do is return to their homeland and give back all the fruits of all their hard labor and return this love that they gave to me so fruitfully and abundantly. And so I feel it's all about joy 2023. It's about returning to pockets of joy, connection, feeling good and not harboring on the fact that this is going to give me more this, but more this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is hard in the capitalist world and hard when we're trying to survive in a system that is so debilitating to so many of us.
Yeah.
But
it's massive.
It's huge.
I honestly think that that's probably the best thing you could ever do.
Yeah.
Is go home. And you're gonna, there's no way that it's not the right decision.
No, it's wild.
And for you to take action on it, it's so brave. Because that's where a lot of our whānau, especially my whānau, Māori, that I know, are massive dreamers.
Yeah.
We only ever dreamed big. Yeah. We came all the way to New Zealand on a bloody canoe.
Yeah.
We're
pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty good dreaming, yeah.
But today, we can't take action.
Nah, yeah.
People, the amount of $1 million ideas I've heard in a shed party is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And not one of them have come true for them. And it's because there's the security of your home, working income, actual income, shelter, whānau here, and just routine.
Yeah.
It's hard to think, well, if I do this one thing, take action on this thing that I want the most in the world, you lose all those things. It changes everything.
It changes so much.
Yeah. So people, they come up with the idea, they do the rangaho, they do the research, they make the plan, and then they get right to that edge, and then they don't jump.
Yeah.
And that's where that's where people say there's no reason having regrets. That's a true regret for me. Is when if I thought I got to the edge where I really wanted to fucking do this thing, but I don't jump. You don't take the leap of faith.
You don't take the leap of faith, and you don't realize that actually not knowing is the whole beauty of it. It's like figuring it out, and I think we've all become so comfortable in just knowing everything. Because we're of the generation that's like, we're just the how-to generation. We just look on Google and how to do this, how to do that. And to not know is so scary for us as millennials, as Gen Zers, who are just like, want to know all things. And I love when I talk to my nana, who's an 89-year-old Tongan woman who refuses to learn English. Love that for her. Who just like lives in a way of like, that's just not, like her life is just so, I don't want to say simple, because I feel like a lot of people like really I don't not like make that out to be a bad thing. But for her, it's her faith, it's her family, and it's her joy.
Easy as that.
Easy as that. If she's got those three things, she's so set. And although I don't share the same faith as her, her complete, utter faith in something higher than herself is so greater than anything else. And I think like to live your life like that is such a beautiful thing. And I think a lot of us don't have that anymore. Like she's so comfortable in not knowing.
Just knowing her truth.
She just knows her. She knows herself. She's the expert of her. And I think that's so, again, elite. You know what I mean? Like, and there's been so many catalysts of what sent me back home. But most importantly, it's like, it's the whole aspect of home and like a sense of belonging that I know for a lot of us, diasporic Pasifika, we don't feel a lot of that oftentimes, especially if you don't know your language, don't know your family, like you don't know any of that stuff. And I think like, I remember when I first landed on Tonga, and when I put my foot on the tarmac, I just burst into tears. And we call it mawhana, like that's the experience. And the only way I can like mawhana, it's like it's this feeling of like joy. Like I can't even like put it into English words because there's no word, but it's like this overwhelming sense of joy, and you just cry. It's like you'll be looking at the sunset and you're like, oh, this is mawhana. So if you got a drink up and Tonga's like, I really mawhana, you're safe. There's a good time. But I remember landing in Tonga and I turned to my nana and I was so overwhelmed. And we walked over and her sister was there and she said to me, I still remember word for word, she said to me in Tongan, what you're feeling right now is you're on the land of your people and on the land of your family and on the land of your ancestors. So what Tonga is telling you right now is that you're home and that you belong to her and she belongs to you. And I remember being like, at 14, like, oh, what does this mean for me? And now at 30, being able to go back home and experience that for a land that isn't mine, I truly believe that's going to be what's going to provide me care and love that I've been yearning for the last few years.
It's like your reclamation, eh?
It's this reclamation that's so real, and obviously, like it's quite similar to how all of us are kind of experiencing that. Like Jordan earlier spoke about her going back to her whenua, you know, in Raglan and being able to experience that in her moana and her marae. Like all of that is so important. And I think for us, Pasifika Māori, or people just Indigenous people in general, we often look at mental health in a very Western way because that's what we see so much of it. But to be able to look at it in this way, like reclamation for me, I'm going to be feeling the joy that I've been yearning for, which is going to help my mental well-being, and it's going to provide me the care and love that I want and need. So I feel like when we try to think about it differently, it's really helpful.
Beautiful. I was, this weekend just gone, speaking about reclamation, I was at a mokopapa, and that's a moko wānanga for just faces. Yeah. Pretty much. And we had 4 wahine do it on Saturday. And the kaupapa was our nan. She was 78-ish? Yeah. I think so. Might be older. I don't want to say
older. Might be older, younger. Who knows?
Like, she's like
she
55.
Looks great. Either way, you look amazing. Yeah.
But she got her kaua done at that age.
Wow. Oh my gosh, I saw this on your I think it was yours as Chase. Yeah.
And for me, watching that happen, it's like, oh my God. She's gone her whole life. She was through the generation where they got whipped for speaking their reo, and now she's at a generation where she's seen all of her moko wearing it. You know, like all of her moko puna, we all have it. And for her, it was just calling her. like calling her home,
Yeah.
like hurry up and show me to the world.
Yeah.
Because a thing we think about when you're doing tā is that you're not actually drawing on moko, you're just revealing
it.
what's already there. So everyone's already got their kauai and their mataora, it's just up to them when they want to show it.
Reveal it.
Yeah, it's when they're ready, because it takes on its own personality, it takes on a whole nother being. And yeah, it's like, they call it a hoa haere, which is like your mate for life, who's going to be there through everything. Like it's like a guiding light, pretty much. And not that she needs one now, because her guiding lights, you know, she didn't have much time. I love my dad. But let's be realistic. Like, she's not at the point where she needs some more assistance in her life. It was like, for her, it was so mamai. Like, I watched the pain, because we had just lost her son 2 years ago. 3 years ago now. And she had lost her son, and she had lost her husband, and I feel like she had all this mamai around not being able to wear it with them.
Right.
And when she finally got it and revealed it, she was like, I did have it with them. Yeah, they've always seen it.
Yeah.
And it's always been here. Like, and I was like amazed. Honestly, when she got up, she come up out of, she must have gone somewhere, because I could feel my uncle and my papa in the room at the time, and we did a haka that she would have her whole life watched her son and her husband do. And when I was doing it, like, it was like she was having like an exorcism.
Wow.
Like, it was like all this like trauma and shit was coming out of her. Like, and I was like, somebody.
What's going on?
like at one point, like, cause I was feeling really pody for her and sad, and I felt I was feeling the water and stuff.
Check
and then I was like, is she alright? Like, I was actually starting to get worried. But she just felt all this water, and like, honestly, she walked with a slouch before and things like that. But she just come off this table floating pretty much, and so light, and all that weight dropped.
Dropped it.
Yeah.
How beautiful.
Oh, there's nothing like it. You've
Being in that room, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to.
Yeah.
Jordan, can you do it? Jordan.
Yeah.
No,
my
that's
dad
amazing.
felt inspired enough that he went to my cousin afterwards, who he's only done women face moko.
Right.
And my dad, who doesn't have he's the only person in our whole family.
Wants to.
Yeah. Sat down, and he said to us, he'll never do it.
He felt it.
Yeah, and he's seen Anima, and he said, I need to reclaim. As he speaks Māori.
Yeah.
He grew up, like, there's nothing not Māori about him. But he grew up in a place where facial moko was a no.
Yeah.
And not for them, not for common people, all this. And yeah, so for
now
him,
people are doing it.
For him to feel inspired by that, and like, you know, like, not even his son could inspire him. Like, he's got a son and daughter, his wife has it, and yeah, he had to watch our nan. It was the weight, I think, he's seen lift from her.
Eh?
Yeah, and I think he carries around all that trauma too, of his childhood, and just intergenerational trauma and mamai that I think he needs to face.
Real. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was, I don't know where we're going with that, but
no, but but what I love about that is, like, that shit is mental health.
Yeah.
That shit is self-care.
Yeah.
That shit is like well-being and
that's
looking
where
after.
I was going.
Yeah. I got you.
Thank you. Is that there's no time period.
No.
About when's the right.
Yeah.
When's the right time for you.
Yeah.
It's around when you know it's right for you.
Also, can I just say, time is such a social construct created by the white man, and it just it is, and it constricts us, and it makes us feel like we can't go to uni at 40, we can't travel the world at 52, we can't fall in love in our 60s, we can't experience whatever, we can't we can't whāngai or adopt when we're in our whatever it is. Like we restrict ourselves to that, and we limit ourselves. We don't experience just life in general.
This is a Pākehā thing, actually.
It is a fucking Pākehā thing.
They
Why
throw
make
their kaumatua in rest homes and stuff, and back in the day. Well, we're supposed to be wrapping this up. Wrap it up. But
homes.
our people, our old people are our
They're our
gods.
Yeah.
Walking, living gods.
They're our precious little treasures that mean a lot to us, and they hold knowledge that we want to absorb for the next generation. So magic. Honestly,
magic.
putting our elders in rest homes, I'm very much.
How did we get it?
Oh my gosh.
Supposed to be wrapping up.
But hey, we touched on many things that we put under the fire.
I don't know what you guys can take from that.
Me either.
Mental health. So what do we got? We got
jerking off.
Hey, we'll leave you.
That was all you.
The rest is up to you what to find out.
Yeah. Hope you find your joy and your
Pick
pleasure.
your gym. Yeah,
Yes.
your joy, your pleasure.
Enjoy your pleasure.
Who you are. That's the
Yeah.
coolest thing. Be who you are because there's only one you.
Oh my God, magic. There's a bar.
That's all there is. Hey,
There
that's
is,
all
yeah.
you're the easiest person to be in the world.
Totally.
Because that's all you are.
That's all you got.
Yeah, that's all you are.
Yeah, we all can't
You're
be
just
Beyoncés. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Under
us.
the Whāriki.
Thank you
Mental
so
health.
much. We will see you next episode, and hopefully we'll have a guest with us.
Yeah.
But
To rain us in, eh? Far out.
so and I can jump from all places. But I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next time. Taki dana.
Ano.